Praise God, Awakening Minds Bible Study Class. It's always a privilege to be able to come and fellowship with you each and every week, knowing that God is on the throne and fighting for all of us and keeping on to keep us safe in the cover of His wings. As you know, I'm praying for you. As you know, I'm lifting each and every one of you up to the Lord in prayer. I know that the Lord is answering us. Big or small things, I know He's doing great things. I've received endless testimonies from all of you also, that the Lord is doing something good, and I'm happy for the testimonies that are coming through each and every single week. Also, for those of you who are spending time to come and fellowship together, I'm available and still praying for all of you. Last week, I finished a wonderful series, which was God's reward system. And I'm so happy that also the feedback I've gotten from you has been very good. Most of you just saying how the Lord has blessed you and how you've been able to grow. I know we are all praying to be able to come back together and just fellowship. I know the progress that has been made in the country these past few days will be able to help us to find a way that we can be able to fellowship. My team and I are praying about it and looking for a way to be able to do it. Today, I'm talking about something else. But last week, I finished by talking about the highest level or the best thing in God's reward system, which is that the reward is Himself. That the reward is Himself. Now, I've moved to something else, because from that, we have to bridge it to something else. That's why I'd send you to my YouTube channel. If you have not been able to see any other sermon that I've done, please, those of you who are joining now and watching now, just go look for them. I'll be talking about our belief system, and I moved talking about the reward system, and I finished by saying that the reward is Him. He is the ultimate reward. So this week I'm moving to a new series which is called Growing Deeper in the Lord. Growing Deeper in the Lord. This is a series which I'll do for the next couple of weeks. And in growing deeper in the Lord, I'll begin by asking you, why is it growing deeper, and not going deeper? Remember, with spiritual things, the deeper you go, the more you grow. The deeper you go, the more you grow. And after knowing He is the reward, after knowing that it is Him that I want, after I know that it is Him that I seek, it's Him that I desire the most, then it is now easier for me to now choose and say, fine, Jesus, I want to grow deeper. With God, the deeper you go in Him, the higher He takes you. I'll repeat that. The more or the deeper you grow, the deeper you take your roots in. As a tree goes deep, pursuing where the water is, the more we are. But the more we do that, the more He lifts us up. With God, if you are pursuing to go up without choosing to go deep, then there's a possibility you'll never go that high. But if you choose to go deep, then He makes you go higher. And it's very important for any one of us who wants to grow. But growing in the Lord, we don't grow upwards, we grow downwards. Because we are growing deeper into Him. We are putting our roots deeper into Him. And that is our foundation. So that's why it's called growing deeper in the Lord. Now I'll be sharing with you a couple of simple things to bring our minds, or to question our minds, or to make our minds begin to ask new questions about where we are with Him and what we are looking for. I've always said the quality of life you live is based on the type of questions that you ask. So in growing deeper in the Lord, the first thing we'll talk about is this: reason. Reason. Now, as a person who loves so much talking about relationships, talking about marriages, talking about how we commune, how we relate, talking about relationship with God, I want to start from the very basis of growing deeper in the Lord. And the first thing is reason. The question is this: what is your reason to desire Him? What is your reason to want to be where He is? What is your reason to seek Him? Those of you who wake up at 3 in the morning, what is your reason for waking up at 3 in the morning? Those of you who fast for 21 days, 40 days, 100 days, if there's anyone who does that, what is the reason? What is your reason for tithing? What is your reason for offering? What is your reason in that which you do in your faith as a child of God? Why do you read the Bible? Why do you join the Bible class? What is your reason? I'm saying this because when I understand reason, reason is the foundation to my journey in growing deeper. I can't grow deeper with the Lord if I have not understood my reason, and my reason is not clear enough. In my time in ministry, I have met people who have run to me and said, Victor, I am with Jesus until the end. The time I was preaching in Loitoktok, and I was preaching to this group of leaders from various churches in that area. And I was preaching and I was telling them that if you abandon your life to God, then the Lord takes care of what concerns you. I can never forget a lady who stood up and said that I have learned so much from you, Victor, this day. It's about 10 years ago. Victor, I've learned so much from you today, and I'm declaring today that I'm not going to worry about anything. I am here to live for the Lord. I am a leader. I'm a leader in this church. I'm going to continue my leadership role. I won't bother. She said that before the break. After the break, when I asked for her, I had been told that the veterinary had come and she had dashed home to see her cows. What is the disconnect? I'll take you to the book of Joshua 24, 14 to 15. Now therefore fear the Lord. Serve him in sincerity and in truth. Put away the other gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt, and serve the Lord. Then Joshua says in verse 15, the famous thing that Joshua says is, and if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods of your fathers, the gods of the Amorites, in whose land you dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. I love that so much. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. What moved Joshua to a place where he tells the guys, listen, choose which way you want to go, but I have decided that my house and I will serve the Lord. What was Joshua's reason to draw this conclusion? My friends, the moment you understand your reason of getting into a relationship with someone, then the foundation has been set. Because your reason for entering a relationship with someone is the foundation of your relationship. It is the unshakable ground or the shakeable ground on which you stand. I always ask this to couples every time. Why do you want to get married? Why do you want to marry this person? Why do you want to get married? Why did you say yes? Why do you say yes? Why did you say yes? Why did you propose? Why do you get into a relationship with someone? If you don't have your reasons right, automatically everything you do within that relationship shall be frustrating. Everything you do in that relationship shall have a lot of pain, shall have a lot of anguish, shall drive you mad. And that's why you have got angry Christians. Someone who spends so much time in church, so much time doing things of God, but when you look at them, you don't see the love of God. They are angry, they are bitter, frustrated, complaining, whining. Why is it so? Because the reason, when the reason is wrong as to why I'm in a relationship with the Lord, then everything I do will drive me crazy. And that's why there are people who want, though they expect God to move because they moved. But I've asked, why do you tithe? Why do you give an offering? If the reason is wrong, I always say, you'd rather not give. If the reason is wrong, you'd rather not give. Why do you wake up at 3? If the reason is wrong, you'd rather not give. If the reason is wrong, you'd rather not do it. Because the moment we lose our minds and we begin not to understand why we are serving him, why we are following him, why we are doing what we are doing, then my dear friends, it is wrong. Now there, when the enemy comes, we get confused. This is when you will find us. We are elders in our churches, but at midday, we are shareholders at the witch doctors. Why? The reason. Why do we backslide? The reason is wrong. So why am I in a relationship with God? Why do I want to go deeper with him? Why have I come to you, Jesus? I said last week, but if I understand that he is what I need, he is everything to me, then I can put glorious desire. Let me call it glorious desire, whereby I'm celebrating. I don't wake up in the morning because the Lord demands me to wake up at 3. I wake up in the morning because I long to be where he is. Now listen to Joshua. If you read verse 2 and verse 3 of chapter 24, you understand something. The Bible says this is the last chapter of Joshua. Joshua has done his job. They have crossed over in Canaan. Verse 2 and 3, he calls them. He gathers them and begins with these words. Says, this is what the Lord has said. He begins history from the time of Noah. He goes on to Abraham, goes on to Isaac, goes on to Jacob and Esau, moves all the way to Egypt. To that point there, then he tells them, choose who you will serve. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. The beautiful thing is what they say in verse 16. Verse 16, they say, oh, God forbid. We cannot serve another God. God forbid. Mungu mimi ni wako kufa na kupona. I'm not going anywhere. I have decided. What happens there between Joshua chapter 24 and Judges 3:7 is interesting. Because Judges 3:7, they now move, they stray. they begin worshiping other gods. The same people who said, God forbid, are the same people who have forgotten. Why, my dear friends? The reason was wrong. They were pursuing God based on information that Joshua had given them. You see, Joshua had a first row seat. Joshua remembered slavery. Joshua remembered the Red Sea. Joshua remembered the pillar of cloud and the pillar of fire. Joshua remembered the waters of Meribah. Joshua remembered the walls of Jericho. Joshua remembered Moses prostrating before the Lord and the Lord coming down. Joshua remembered his faithfulness. Joshua remembered the quails. Joshua saw him heal them when the serpents came. Joshua was there on a first row seat. But his reason, he saw Moses pursue God. He saw Moses not pursue miracles, but saw Moses pursue the eyes of God, the hand of, the face of God. Joshua hung around Moses for so long that in Joshua's job interview, it is the Lord who makes the proposal. I love that so much. It is God who tells Moses, lay hands on Joshua. It is God who does it for Joshua. Why? Because Joshua was always hanging around and he saw Moses speaking to God as a man speaks to his friend. Joshua had been so close in these moments. Joshua had a reason, a personal, intimate reason to believe in the Lord. And then Joshua says, son, stand still. God does not give Joshua a geography lesson and tell Joshua, you know, Joshua, you're actually wrong. The sun never moves. It's the earth that moves. No, the Lord hearkens. The Bible says there is no time in the history of this earth that the Lord yielded to the voice of a man, save that day that Joshua told the sun to stand still. When Joshua says, choose who you'll serve, he's coming from a place where I know this God. I have my reason to serve. But the others wakapena leave service. Wakasema Mungu, I will do it. I'm going to do it. They said, we are not going anywhere, we are here. And I tell you, in my time in ministry, I have seen endless people telling me, Victor, me, I'm here to the end. Heaven is our destination. After 1 year, na torch. After 1 year, you can't find them. What happened? The reason was wrong. The reason was wrong. In the book of Jeremiah 17:9 says this, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? The heart is deceitful above all things. My dear friends, reason is in the heart. Reason is not in the flesh. If I choose to be with my wife, the reason should flow from my heart. Faithfulness is a heart choice. Loyalty is a heart choice. If I choose to be honest, it's a heart choice. If I'm married or I want to get married and I'm saying I'm choosing to marry this particular person, if my reason is wrong, automatically every action in the marriage, my dear friends, becomes wrong. What is your reason to desire Christ? If you want to go deeper, what is your reason? Jeremiah 17:10 says this, the Lord, I the Lord search the heart. I the Lord search the heart. Verse 9 he asks, the heart is deceitful, who can understand it? Those I search your heart. My dear friends, in the heart is where the truth is. When the Lord goes to your heart, he finds the truth. What is the reason for you to want to be where he is? What's your reason to read the Bible every morning? What's your reason to join the Bible class? What's your reason to serve in church? What's your reason to pray? What's your reason not to pray? What is our reason? Why are we pursuing him? You know, I had someone telling me once, very many years ago, that Victor, if I don't wake up in the morning to pray, God gets angry with me. I told him, no, he's not angry with you. God is in a relationship with you. He wants you to desire. I always like giving this particular story every single time. I was in a marriage context. If my wife tells me that she's longing to talk to me, it is easier for me to have a desire to draw close and talk to her. But if I think that because I didn't talk to my wife at 1 o'clock, then she's angry at me, I'm likely never to come back for any conversation. The same thing that happens with us and God. What is your reason? Relationship, my dear friend, is in the heart. And I want to say this because I'm going to give you simple things as to why we are committing. What is our reason? Why are we pursuing Him? Why do I want to be there? To me, these are my foundational reasons as to why I decided to say, Lord, I want to come where you are. I'll wake up early in the morning, I will seek you. Why do I seek you? Because I want to be where you are. But I can tell him I've not come to ask for anything. I've come to be in your presence. In your presence, there's fullness of joy. You must remember this, my dear friends. But first of all, the Lord listens to me and is ready to listen. Why? What is my reason to be in a relationship with this particular God? My God, He listens to me and He is ready to listen. There's a difference between someone who listens to you and is not ready to listen versus someone who listens to you and is ready to listen. My dear friends, Jesus is ready to listen and He listens. People who are not in a relationship with Him are the ones who say, Mungu hanisikii. God doesn't hear me. Why? It is because you are busy pursuing a miracle and not a relationship. I said it last week. Lasters get tired. Lasters get angry. Lovers stay consistent. If you're in love with Christ, you stay consistent. Because when you're in love with Christ, a blessing is a byproduct. But if you're in lust with Christ, then my dear friends, you are pursuing the blessing that the relationship becomes a byproduct. You seek His hand and not His face. I said that last week. So He listens to me and He is ready to listen. Isaiah 1:18 says this, come now, let us reason together. What is this? An invitation to commune, an invitation to communicate. He's saying, no, you've made a mistake, but I'm ready to listen to you. Come, let's have a chat. Let's talk. You know, those of you who are maybe my age and older, you know this. That our parents never had these moments. My dad surprised me once and told me, okay, sit down, tell me why you failed your exam. And I had never asked him that question, but I had not even prepared for it. Because it was an awkward moment to see that he's actually ready to listen. What do our teenagers complain about? They say, no one listens to me. Why? Someone is there to listen, but not ready to listen. So I'm a father, I am busy, not ready to listen. Now God, my dear friends, He is ready to listen, and He listens. 1 John 5:14 says this, since we have this confidence, we can also have great boldness before Him. For if we present any request agreeable to His will, He will hear us. And if we know that He hears us, in whatever we ask, we also know we have obtained the requests we ask of Him. What is my reason? He listens to me and He's ready to listen. I can't be in a relationship with someone who can't listen to me and is not ready to listen. That I cannot do. My dear friends, the next thing is this, is that I can trust Him. I can trust Him. Yes, I've said it. My God is trustworthy. I have a whole sermon on it, on when I'm talking about the belief system, about trust. It's difficult to be in a relationship with someone you don't trust. You see, if you're in a relationship with someone and you can't trust them, you don't have a relationship. To any person, the foundation of any relationship, human relationship, is trust. Now, my relationship with God is based on that. My reason why I want to grow deeper with Him is because I trust Him. I trust Him because He's a good God. Psalms 18:30 says this. Psalms 18:30. What a God you are. Your path for me has been perfect. All your promises are proven true. What a secure shelter for all those who turn to hide themselves in you. Beautiful. I can trust Him. God is trustworthy. Now, my dear friends, let me say the truth. In any relationship, when trust has been breached, the relationship ends. The goodness with our God, He can never breach His trust. When we trust Him, we see good things. How do you trust Him? Let me throw this to you. How do you trust Him? Very simple. Someone who would risk everything to get into a relationship with you, my dear friends, is worth trusting. I'll repeat it. Someone who can risk everything they have to be in a relationship with you is worth trusting. Because the moment I'm willing to say, I am not hiding anything, I'll put it all out that I may have you. That is someone who's saying, I have nothing to hide. I have no hidden agenda. I have nothing to hide. The biggest thing we fight with many couples when they come to see me in my office, you hear someone saying, I don't trust my partner. I don't trust my partner, you know. I have a test I take many couples through to find out the health of their marriages. And many of them will tell me the same thing. You come to a place of trust, you hear, I don't trust. I don't trust. I don't trust. Why, my dear friends? It's because you feel this person has a hidden agenda. But with God, there's no hidden agenda. Everything about you, he put it. Everything about him, he laid on a cross. And said, I'm here for you. Timothy 1:15 says this, I can testify that the word is true and deserves to be received by all. For Jesus came in the world to bring sinners back to life, even me, the worst sinner of all. That is someone I can trust, who chose to reconcile me, who chose to give whatever he could, knowing very well that I was untrustworthy. Because I was failing. I was untrustworthy. I couldn't be trusted. But he risked his most prized possession, but he may gain me. That is a good reason. Another reason is this, but he is available. My reason is that he is available. That's my reason. He is available. He is available. Now I want to be clear. Availability is presence and accessibility. When it says someone is available for me, it means they are present and they are accessible. God does not only say I'm omnipresent. He is not only present, my dear friends. No, he is present and accessible. That is what it says, to be available. Because you can find that I can be at home, I am present but not accessible. Because when I go home, I lock myself in my bedroom the whole day. My children will be asked, is your father home? They'll say, yes, daddy is at home. Where is he? He's in his room. But I am not accessible. I am only present. Availability is when I am present and I can be accessed. The other issue is that there are people who they are accessible only when they are present. And that varies. But with our God, he's saying that I'm available. Meaning, as for you, my relationship with you, I'm not someone you look for very far. I am going to be present and you can access me. How is this so? Jeremiah 23:23 says this, I am a God at hand, says the Lord, not a God afar off. I am a God at hand, says the Lord. I am here with you. I am available. Not only that, he says this in 24, can anyone hide himself in a secret place? No. He's saying, wherever you are, I am with you. He is present, but beautifully so, he is accessible. How? Through the cross. The death of Christ gives us access. Gives us access. Ephesians 2:18 says this, and now, because we are united to Christ, we both have equal, listen to this, equal and direct access in the realm of the Holy Spirit to come before the Father. We have equal and direct access through Jesus. It means I, Victor, am no better in coming before the Lord than you. In fact, if you read verse 19, and I love it so much after I read this, it says this, so you are not foreigners or guests, but rather you are children of the city of the holy ones, with all the rights as family members. Hallelujah. With all the rights as family members. What is my reason to grow deeper with you, Lord? It's because you listen to me and you are ready to listen. Because I trust you. Thirdly, it's because you are available. You are present and you are accessible. You are present and you found a way for me to access you. I didn't even find a way. You found a way. My dear friends, when you know this, it gives you confidence in saying, Lord, I want to grow more. I want to be where you are. The fourth thing is very interesting. Now this one is what blows my mind every time. Why do I wake up in the morning? Why do I read the Bible? Why do I do what I do? Because I am a priority to him. My dear friends, you are a priority to the Father. you are a priority to the Father. How do you measure priority? You measure priority by the level of sacrifice. You measure priority by the level of sacrifice. In any relationship, you'll always know your importance based on the level of sacrifice the person you're with in a relationship can be able to do. And that is a fact. The moment the person in a relationship with cannot make a sacrifice, then you know you're not worth it. I'm sorry to say, but you know that you're not worth it. The goodness with God and my reason to want to grow deeper with Him, when I'm looking at my reasons, evaluating my reasons, drawing my reasons, I come to a conclusion that I am a priority. Why? The level of sacrifice that He made. John 3:16. For God so loved the world. Now eliminate the world, put your name there. For God so loved Victor. For God so loved so and so. But He gave His only begotten Son. He gave His only begotten. The level of sacrifice shows your level of priority in His life. You are important to God. I'd rather invest my effort to be with someone who thinks I'm a priority than to be with someone who treats me like I'm not important. And this is the beautiful thing about relationship with God. When you know you're important, you don't worry about rent. You don't worry about health. You don't worry about demons. You don't worry about death. Why? Because you are a priority. When you become a priority to God, you know He will stop at nothing. He will sacrifice whatever it takes. I've seen many times people come into my office, I tell someone, can someone come in? Maybe it's a couple. A man comes and asks him, can your wife come for a session? He says, I don't think she can make it. My conclusion is this: then you are not a priority. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. If you can't make a sacrifice for a person you're in a relationship with, then my dear friend, they're not a priority. And if they can't make for you, then sana pia, you're not a priority. Why? It's because priority is measured by the level of sacrifice. 1 John 4:9 says this: the light of God's love shine within us when He sent, listen to this, His matchless Son. His matchless Son. This is the Passion Translation. His matchless Son into the world, but we may live through Him. That means I'm important. I'm important to Him. Because I'm important to Him, waking up at 4 in the morning to spend an hour with Him doesn't hurt me. Because I'm important to Him. I'm important to Him. Taking 21 days fast to be with Him. Not because I want a job, to be with Him. I'm a priority to Him. Automatically, the blessings shall pursue me. I've always taught this, and I've said that blessings ought to pursue you. My dear friends, you are a priority. And this is what love is. When you know that you're loved by God, you know I'm a priority. In the kingdom of heaven, I am a priority. I am the apple of God's eye. No one else but me. And I am confident and I am sure that I'm important to Him. That's my reason. That's why I do what He asks me to do. 1 John 4:10 says this, that this is love. He loved us long before we loved Him. Now, if I wake up or I want to read the Bible, Genesis to Revelation, then I may be able to quote scriptures, at the fellowships, and quote Nehemiah, and quote Nahum, and quote Habakkuk, quote Obadiah, scriptures that to show me that I know, then my reason is wrong. If I'm giving, that I may be given back, then my reason is wrong. But if I'm proceeding from brother, I'm a priority. Because you loved me first, 1 John 4:10, then Lord, I will respond to your love. I will want to know more about you. I'll pick up the Bible. I'll want to be where you are. I'll give an hour to be with you. I'll put my mind where you are. I'll sacrifice where you want me to sacrifice. Because you loved me first. You made me a priority. The best I can do is try and make you a priority. Reason number 5. He is good to me. Translation, He is good to you. Wherever you are, say, He is good to me. Now, who never wants to be next to someone who is good to them? We are all drawn towards those who are good to us. We are all drawn towards goodness. And his goodness is not malicious. His goodness, hajashikilia hapa. He's hiding something. No. Box. He is good. How do you know the goodness? Goodness in three parts. The thoughts I think of you, the words I say to you, and the actions that I do. I've had cases in my office. People saying, yeah, my partner says they love me, but I don't feel it. Why? What they do is opposite to what they say. My dear friends, he's good to you. It's in three parts. The thoughts he thinks about you. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts I have for you. Good thoughts. Thoughts to bring you to a very good end. The words he speaks to you. The words he says to you. You know, he says you are blessed. He says that you'll no longer be called barren. You know, he says you are his son. You are his daughter. What does he say to you? His words are words of love. His actions. He ensured the ultimate price was paid to get you. 1 Timothy 2:4. He longs for everyone to embrace his life and return to the full knowledge of truth. Another version says he longs for everyone to be saved. His action speaks. And lastly, my personal reason, very important reason, is that I can come as I am. Now, I don't know if that speaks to anyone, but to me it speaks personally. But I can come as I am. I can have a real, authentic relationship. I don't know how many of you are tired of having fake relationships, where you have to pretend. Before your friends, you have to pretend. At work, you have to pretend. In front of your in-laws, you have to pretend. In front of your partner, you have to pretend. Every time you are pretending. How many of us come to a time where you just want a real, authentic relationship? That I can just be me. Can I just be me and it's okay? Must I pretend at work? But I laugh at jokes that I don't think that they are funny. Do I have to force myself to speak in a way that I'm not comfortable with? How many relationships do you have that are that way? You're forced to pretend in front of your in-laws, your family members, your friends, your colleagues, your spouse. Can't I be who I am? The reason why I want to grow deeper with this Lord, why I want to be where he is because I can come as I am. I can have an authentic, real relationship. I can be who I am before him. I can come, sit down and tell him, Dad, I'm tired. I can tell him, Dad, I am weak. Dad, I am frustrated. Dad, you know this. I can tell him, I can come the way I am. I can come the way that I am. And to me, that is the most beautiful thing about God. But he can never turn me away and tell me, Victor, fix yourself, then you come. He says, come. I'll fix you when you're here. You come. If I have a problem with you, I'll fix you when you're here. You come. I can be real with him. I can tell him when I'm frustrated. I can tell him when I'm tired. And this is what Abraham, Adam, Moses, and Jesus himself had with the Father. When Adam tells God, it's the woman you gave me, but it's a very good one. Why? Because he came as he was. Moses tells the Lord, this is personal to me, he tells the Lord this, that Lord, how will I speak before Pharaoh? I am only but a stammerer. You know, he brings it that way. People have said that, oh, Moses should have done this. No, he came as he was. And God tells Moses the most powerful thing ever. Moses didn't tell God that, okay, Lord, I know how to talk. I'm a speaker. I lived in Pharaoh's palace for 40 years. I have been trained in Egyptian ways. No. Pharaoh told the Lord, I am a stammerer. How do I stand before Pharaoh? He was real before God. He came as he was. God says the most powerful thing ever God tell a human being. He tells Moses, Moses, you'll go before Pharaoh. I will make you a God before Pharaoh. And your brother Aaron shall be your prophet. Hallelujah. Why? He came the way that he was. I've always said the goodness of having a relationship with God is that I don't have to be a ninja. I don't have to pretend that I am strong. I don't have to pretend that I know. I can come and tell them, Lord, I don't know. I have no idea. What I know is I have you, and that's all I need. Because my reason to be with you is based on how you treat me, Lord. And you have never judged me. You don't look down upon me. You don't despise me, Father, but you call me your son. You call me your beloved. You'll move heaven and earth for me. That is reason enough. I can trust you with my life, because when I was lost, You paid the price that I may have life. Therefore, I can trust you with my life. As Peter says, you haven't been bought by things that can perish, but you have been bought by the precious blood of our Lord Jesus Christ. My dear friends, when you get the reason from the heart, what is your reason from the heart? My dear friends, after that, fellowship with Christ is easy. Prayer is easy. Because you'll stop telling God what you think he should do. You'll start telling God what you know he will do. And that's what relationship does. You don't guess in prayer. You are certain because you have spent time together. He's ready to listen. And he listens. You can trust him with your life. He's available. You're a priority. He is good to you. And you can have a real relationship. Come as you are. And I've always said, when you understand this, you break all protocols. You'll stop coming to prayer with very many adjectives, telling him how he made the stars, the moon, the ocean, all those things, which he knows he made because he was there. You tell him, Father, I've come. Father, I'm here. Father, I need you. Father, I know you have everything. Father, I just want an embrace. The moment you have that relationship with him, surely goodness and mercy shall follow you all the days of your life. Blessings shall surely pursue you. The reason is important. It's the foundation of the relationship. When the reason is right, then we can go deep. I'm praying for you. I'm believing God for you. I know that God is on the throne, is fighting for all of us. I hope to see you soon. I hope to fellowship with you very soon also. Call the office line if you want to see me. If you want prayer, if you want encouragement, I'm available for you. Stay blessed.